We are love. We are love. We are
I want
love. Greetings.
I
Welcome
want to
everybody.
be after I speak. I want to be off camera and mute. So, are you going to do
Yes,
that, or should I?
I
Okay,
can.
Yes.
I can.
you speak,
Or you can take
please.
yourself out, but I can take you off.
Okay, thank you.
Hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Greetings. Welcome everybody. Teaching Artist Institute here, and we are going to start our Kwanzaa from Gainesville, Florida. Hope you all are ready for the word today. So we're looking forward to getting started. And I'll pass it over to our members. I think Miss Poole is here, and hopefully she can. Okay, I see you, sir.
In order, Habarigani.
Kuji
Ujima.
Chagalia.
No. Ujima.
Ujima.
Thank you, Manya.
Sorry.
Habarigani. Ujimaa. Habarigani.
Thank you.
Ujimaa. All right.
Ujima.
All right. At this
No,
time,
yesterday. Sorry.
before we can move forward, um, we need to get permission from Manye in order to begin. Papa, will you just say?
Good evening, everyone. From Manye Na Ame Amea Osu Awa Okaprong the first, I give you permission to begin.
Thank you, Manye. The Queen has spoken.
We've been given the permission um, to start with the now going to call libation, that's liberatory prayer. Before we start, these are the things I have to do. Now I have my cap or hat on. I have to remove it because
I'm sorry, his back. We have to face this way in order for you all to see us. Can he stand? I'm not sure.
y'all go to the side.
Go to the other side. Hang everything.
Well, it's different cameras, so let me see. What's this one? Let me see something. Let me try this one. Hold on, I can come now.
I have the camera that's right now.
Okay, so anywhere you stand.
Sees your face, your front, they see.
Say it again.
If you want them to see you, just make sure I see your face.
Okay.
So you go ahead.
Okay, you need to face him.
Now, so before I begin offering the liberty prayer, I have to remove my hat because I don't have the right to stand in front of the ancestors. First, when we say ancestor, it does not necessarily mean your dead mother, your dead father, who are foreborn. No, it has to start with the first grand ancestor, which means the creator God, the created energy. And so I remove my heart to show that kind of respect. Secondly, I have to remove my footwear because this circle where I'm standing now, I'm represent a whole lot of stuff. So that respect is needed. Therefore, I'm removing. Now we are going to pour. We are going to open by pouring water. Why are we using water? Water is the beginning of everything, based on our ancient Egyptian perspective that everything came out of water. And the Almighty Creator God called Amen. Now, separated parted the water, both part above and both part below, and out of it the sun came. Then the earth came, and so on and so forth. And he took some of the soil from the ground and molded one boy and one girl, according to ancient Egyptian creating story. And therefore, the part waters above and the part down, you see one person having two vessels pouring libation. So when sometimes they use one. So when you see me using water to pour libation, as I'm from Ghana, that does not mean it is Akan tradition. It is ancient Egyptian tradition, which is telling us the story about how the world was created. And that's the reason why we pour the libation. And about 70% of water is in me, it's in you. And water is in everything. Let me give you whatever you want, and let me deny you water. Can you leave? No. What even did you use to prepare your food? Water. And this is the reason why when we pour it, and when the rain is coming, where does the rain fall? Down. Where do we collect our water to drink? Down. This is the magic behind pouring libation. It is ancient Egyptian way of saying thank you to you, the Creator, who is both male and what? Female. I created you let us create them man in our male and created he. This is the reason why I do pour the libation with water. I'll tap it 3 times. Then I open it. Now everything is in 3. We don't have the time to be talking about everything. So I'll therefore have to pour the libation. And when I say I go, please all of you respond. Amen. I go means that I am knocking. Amen means that we responded. Go forward. I go.
Amen.
I go.
Amen.
I go.
Amen.
Cha, 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 omania. It means hail, hail, hail. Let all the positive things in life, let all the blessings, let all the good things in life be upon you, and you to be positive in that way. So, cha, 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 omania, be unto you. They say, yao. Yao means let it be good for it. Yao.
Yao.
Cha, 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 omaniaba. Yao. Cha, 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 omaniaba. Yao. Cha, 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 omaniaba. Yao. 3 times. This is the Trinity we've been talking about. So when I say Boma, it means the Creator God. That's what I'm calling. So when I finish, I'll just give a short explanation of it. And when I see me, so Nima so Nama so. And what is today's day? Today is Thursday. Thursday. So now we're going to pray. Hey, whoa.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah.
Creator God. Hey,
Yeah.
Maker of heaven, maker of earth. Oh, you got which seen. Oh, you got which never seen. You are in the east, you are in the west, you are in the north, you are in the south, you are above it, you are below it, you are outside it, you are within it. Hey, out of this water you created everything. And the earth came from it, and the sun came from it, and the moon came from it. Now we are offering this water as a sign of worship. So all who are here will enjoy the peace and prosperity that each woman, that each man, that each child is supposed to get. Everyone will pray. Now, as we are here, we are calling upon you. You have angels and archangels and ancestors Now we are going to pour some of this for us as a sign of respect, but not worship. To them all that you'll be sending them. He said, I will give my angels charge over you for fear you dash your foot against the stone. We are here. We are therefore expecting you to send all your angels and your archangels to each and every person here. Now, should that be not so good, coming from east, west, north, south, heaven, earth, seen and unseen, within and without, hide them all away. Everybody agree?
Yeah.
Bible.
Yeah.
Now go Bible.
Yeah.
Go tell them Bible.
Yeah.
Need the Bible.
Yeah.
Go Bible.
Yeah.
Bible.
Yeah.
Need the economic be all ancestors. Those who we know and those who we don't know. In name, they can have all of you come and get this for us and take.
Yeah.
As we call upon you, we are here today. Coming to celebrate Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa, which shows the first fruit. That shows that you are the sustainer. You've been given us water. You've been given the food. You've given everything in life that makes us be in life. We therefore say thank you.
Yeah.
Without you, nothing can be done. We therefore ask you, that all here, should there be not so good coming outside here, should there be not so good inside here, we beg you, or we beg of you, to let your angels and archangels of positive mentality send them all away from us.
Yeah.
Let each and every child here.
Yeah.
Let each and every girl here.
Yeah.
Let each and every woman here.
Yeah.
Let each and every husband here.
Yeah.
Let each and every wife here.
Yeah.
Let each and every husband here.
Yeah.
Let the leader of this house and all the members of this church, they are getting the power that they need. That when they say yea, let them make yea.
Yeah.
That when they say nay, when they are fighting against the devil, let their days be nay.
Yeah.
Let the eat bless them.
Yeah.
Let the world bless them.
Yeah.
Let the Lord bless them.
Yeah.
Let the child bless them.
Yeah.
Let the all planets going from east, west, south, see and unseen. Let each and every correlate to them and bless each and every one of them.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, when they dig the soil, let them get down.
Yeah.
When they dig the soil, let them get good.
Yeah.
When they dig the soil, let them get little.
Yeah.
When they dig the soil, let them get uranium.
Yeah.
And all the minerals resources within there is within them.
Yeah.
Therefore, they draw all out and open their minds and brains and let them be connected with you in that whatever they do is prosper.
Yeah.
I think it's the point that we are doing. Food. Not only what we put into our mouth, but mental food, spiritual food, physical food. We need it. We think it has given it to us.
Yeah.
Now, as we are here, we are now going to start. We know that as we call upon you, all that we've done, you've done it for us. Should there be somebody here who is up to hospital and is suffering from any disease that he has been given, anything negative that they are turning to positive?
Yeah.
We thank you very much. And all those who are here, and they know that they are here to learn, open their hearts and their mind, that they learn and know whatever it is. What we are doing today is to show how great we are. And it is not a challenge to anybody, but it's a thank you, Almighty Creator. Thank you. Oh my Yahweh.
Yeah. Yes. Now that the libation, the laboratory prayer has been rendered, we are so grateful. We are thankful. We are so grateful. We wanted to mention a few names that we are dedicating this Kwanzaa experience for. And Dr. Patricia Hilliard Nunn, who really was very instrumental in making sure that we all followed Kwanzaa. Papa, every time I turned around, Papa was running behind Zoe to some program drumming. So we are just so grateful to say that we are dedicating this to her. Before we even say dedicating it to her, we also, you heard Manye Na Ami Osuwa Okapon the first. She's our Queen Mother. The only reason I can mention Zoe's name, Dr. Nunn's name, because she's an ancestor and she's above the Queen Mother even. So now we also dedicate this gathering to our Queen Mother. We also want to dedicate this to now the living, the Reverend Geraldine Singleton, who is a Queen Mother in her right. She hasn't been in school, but I'm telling you, the kind of work and sacrifice that she does, she is amplifying a Queen Mother. And so we are dedicating this program also to her. And last but not least, is the Reverend Ida Rawls Elmore, our dear friend. I have a coat over there on that chair that she gave me. She saw that I was really into African culture. So when she went away and she saw that coat, she bought it with her own money and brought it back and gave it to me. And I'm telling you, the first time I heard a dynamic female speaker talking about Black history was the Reverend um, Rawls Elmer, the Reverend Ida Rawls Elmer. And so for that reason, we're also saying that she is also being, this gathering is being dedicated to her. All right. So at this time, we'll turn it over to our moderator.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if we have Mr. Mugisha up. I'm not sure. So, well, good. Bagani again, everybody. Hakiami. I'm the president of Teaching Artists
Ujimaa.
Institute. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm not sure if Mr. Mugisha Allen from Uganda is here, but I will, wait a minute. I will acknowledge some of our other guests. Okay. Oh, well, I apologize. We have uh, our honorable judge who will be joining us. So allow me to, I think she's ready. She's in the chat. Is that Mama
Good evening.
Inyane? She's here?
I am here.
Oh, you're in person. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. All right, beautiful. Thank you. Okay, let me bring the screen up for you. Thank you. All right.
Okay, good evening. I am the Honorable Michon T. Rawls. I am a Alachua County Court judge, but on this evening I come to welcome you on behalf of Pastor Rawls and the Greater Bethel family to Greater Bethel AME Church, located in Gainesville, Florida. We are honored tonight to be able to host this meeting in celebration of the third day of Kwanzaa. The Greater Bethel family is always delighted and appreciative to be able to collaborate with our community. So on behalf of the Greater Bethel family, again, I welcome you.
Okay, thank you all. Let me pull up my screen. So we just want to recognize some of our international delegates that we have here today. Let me show my screen here. So let me just see who we have. I know we have Mr. Ephraim from Ethiopia is here, as well as Dr. Akil Kalani is here, and Miss Washington is here. I believe we have another gentleman. I'm not sure where he's from, but I don't see Mr. Mugisha, who was supposed to be on. He's from Uganda, so let me look and see who else we're supposed to have here. The Black National Anthem by Baba Kali Blount. Is Mr. Blount there in person or is he online? Okay. All right. If we do not have him available, we can go to the Kwanzaa principle and lighting of the candles at this time, according to the schedule. And Qual 365, Kwanzaa with Africans. Are they there? Miss Poole, you want to come in? I'm not sure who that is. Oh, he's there. Is that the person? All right, Ashe. Okay. So,
Ashe.
Ashe. So, Mr. Mugisha is not here at this time.
Could we sing the anthem at this point?
Yes, who? Kali Blount?
Yes, he's here.
Oh, okay. I called his name. I'm sorry. Mr. Blount, please. Thank you, Baba. Appreciate you.
I hope we're all familiar with Lift Every Voice and Sing. Just so I don't mix up the verses. Can we rise? Those who are comfortable rising, please rise. We're going to do this with energy. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Bring the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise, the lifting sound. Let every sound like the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark has taught us. Sing a song full of all. Into the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. So in the road we trod, build the chassis run, up in the gates where hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat and not a weary feet, come to the place for which our fathers died. We have come over the way that the tears and water. We have tread slaughter out from the gloomy past till now we stand like with the white wing of our bright star is red. God was silent tears, and cross the far on the day. Now glorify thy mind, let us into the light. Give us forever in the past, we pray. Let our feet straight from the places our God when we ready. Let our hearts drop with heavy shall beneath thy head. Make me forever true to our God, true to our dear land. Africa, Africa, Africa. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So this is the third night of Kwanzaa. A habit of mine from Detroit is to light the black candle and use it to light.
Use the mic. We can't hear you.
A habit of mine from Detroit. Yes. We have the Mashuma Saba, the 7 candles. A habit of mine from Detroit is to use the black candle to light the candles for the night so far. We had Umoja, we had Kuji Chagulia, and tonight is Ujimaa. You want me to do the meanings? Let's say those together, please. Umoja, that means unity. Kuji Chagulia. Kuji Chagulia means self-determination. And tonight is Ujimaa. That means collective work. I'm sorry, I cut you off. Ujimaa. Collective work and responsibility. Oh, okay. So the Kwanzaa take. Oh, the Kwanzaa. I'm singing with the band. I should know this, right? The Kwanzaa table has certain specific accoutrements. We always have the straw mat because a house needs a good foundation. The kanara, and keka is a mat. Kanara means candle holder, and we have the 7 candles, the Mashuma Saba. So we need organization, we need structure to hold up these principles. And the principles are Umoja, unity, Kujichagulia, self-determination, Ujimaa, collective work and responsibility, Ujamaa, cooperative economics, Nia is purpose, Kuumba is creativity, and Imani is faith. So in a home setting, the family might gather around this table, keep the candles lit, while the people in the household, particularly the children, discuss and learn the meaning of the principle and make commitments to each other. How during the coming year, in their home, in their school, in their neighborhood, they will fulfill that principle. So for the rest of this year, every Thursday is Ujimaa, and every Friday is Ujamaa, cooperative economics. So every Friday, can you find a black business to patronize?
Yeah.
Every Friday this entire year. And if you call me in the middle of June on a Thursday, I'm going to say Habari Gani.
Ujimaa.
Ujimaa, the principle of the day is the answer. So we recycled this 51 more times all year. This is not just 1 week. It starts December 26th to January 1st, which is very strategic. Karinga understood that we needed to have time off to gather for these. And also all the sales start December 26th. So it's very pragmatic.
Who's Karinga?
Maulana Ron Karinga. And Maulana means great teacher. Maulana Ron Karinga was the head of the US organization in LA when they formulated Kwanzaa. In this country, it's not a direct African derivative, but it's based on many African customs. So the other symbols on the table, we have the fruit, I mixed up his word, mazao. The mazao is the fruit, recognizing the abundance. And we have ears of corn. You put the number of ears of corn on the table that represent the number of children in the family, the muhindi, right? Okay, and the kikombe cha umoja, the cup of unity. At the end of the discussion, the family would pass around this cup and each sip from it. Now, of course, in big gatherings, especially in these days after we did COVID, if we did that, we'd give everybody their own little tiny cup and we would drink together. But in the family, they share that cup And indeed, they're even sharing their biome. They're sharing their. And we always want to have red, black, and green on the table. These are the colors that Marcus Garvey managed to establish as the Pan-African colors back in the 19 teens. Red for the blood of the struggle of our people, black representing us, and green representing the land and abundance. And then you also have gifts on the table. In Kwanzaa, we really would like to have gifts handmade, but there are some gifts that you have to buy. So you have to go see Miss Delphine and buy some books.
Yes.
See, I got all this. Yes. And children, I find, really appreciate Kwanzaa. In my household, a gift every night for 7 nights. It really wins with the children. And it's a chance for them to discuss history, to reunite. See, what Karinga was seeing in 1965 was the Black Panthers were recruiting young people off of the street. So you had Crip Panthers and Blood Panthers shooting at each other down the street because the work was not done to undo those old gang alliances and establish a new unity. So we need this cultural base. We are the only group, the only immigrant group brought to this country stripped of our history by force. Force not to keep our languages, our names, our culture, our foods, our music, everything. Of course, we brought back some of it, but this is a case of imposed amnesia, and it's up to us to heal.
He said that we must bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what this is? I have, Papa, how much money you have in your account? Huh? This the what? What does it mean? Go back and fetch what? Go back and fetch any and all good things about the African culture. And then you do what with it? You leave it there? You bring it forward. You bring it forward. Too many of y'all can just pay y'all. Only one person out of the giving you $20. You got $20? Next time, all right? This is the gift. When I went to Ghana, the gentleman wanted to give me a gift. I had no idea what it would be. But the thing of it is, he gave me a message. Can you read what it says? Africa needs you back. And so I'm passing that message on to you all. Africa needs you back. It's no need of believing the propaganda that we are separate, two separate groups. That's a bunch of junk. That's propaganda. Because the real fact is we are what? One people. One people. Whether you're on the continent or in the diaspora, we are one people. Moderator, take it away.
Okay. All right. So we have first we have Mr. Mugisha Allen, and he is a TAI coordinator out of Uganda, and he is a yoga instructor speaking on collective responsibility to heal. Mr. Mugisha, are you here? Can you hear me? Unmute. Okay.
I am here. I don't know whether you can see me and hear me.
We see you. You're up.
Okay. Yeah, forgive the dogs. In my background, it's in the middle of the morning. It's 36 a.m. in Uganda, so dogs are really out and doing the security thing. Yeah, my name's Amugisha Ali Allen, and I'm a healing artist. I'm a yoga teacher, and facilitate yoga classes in Uganda, and I do the liberation body work, or what many people call the TAI body work. And today I'm going to talk about the role of the collective work of healing. It is really important for us as a collective to work on ourselves to heal. Someone say that the biggest gift you can ever give to the world is a gift of you healing yourself. And every day when we show up to the world, we show up with grace and trying to be good, not only to the people around you but to yourself, because a healed generation is really a gift to the future. And we do that by consciously working on ourselves spiritually, physically, psychologically, mentally, by working on our relationships with ourselves. And this starts by looking after yourself, taking care of, what you, or observing what you consume. As a human being, we try to make sure that we do not intoxicate not only our minds but also our bellies. So it is a collective for us at least to watch whatever we eat, and that's not only eating food but also spiritually, mentally, and also the food. Yeah, so in Uganda, we do lots of vegan food, but it's not that it's a must, but people are found to be by this by default. So consuming this kind of food helps us at least to be in this kind of state. But I don't know about the rest of the world, so we try to do at least lots of how can I say, plant-based foods, and we try to find time or to spend a lot of time with our elders, to learn about lots of things um, about our future and sorry about our past. And so not so many people are into reading, but we do the listening so much because we learn many times from storytelling, and many people are lucky that we have happening to have black writers who are coming up to write and show us what's happening in the world. And we are also trying to pick up the habit of reading, which hasn't been the case for so many generations, but we are trying so much. Yeah, behind me I have a couple of books, not so much, but we're trying to do that. And personally, trying to write up children's. I'm trying to write up a children's yoga book, and because I really felt the need, to teach children uh, through wellness, or to push up the idea of wellness education, but African-centered, to show people, because we've been reading books. Books have been written by the white folks, and that means our narrative has been for a long time been controlled by different people who the who wrote, who have been, sending reading materials from abroad through, how can I say, through charity funds, and they've been white companies, the church, and these are the books people have been reading, and it's been really a tough call for us studying, learning, and instead of singing Ugandan songs at school, we used to sing slave, 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 in America, working day, day and night, working sugar, sugar and tea. When I was in America. So these are songs we've been learning, and these are songs they've been teaching us from when we were little. But now things are starting to change where we are singing different songs that are Ugandan, and we are starting to get writers who are writing Ugandan books. Ugandan illustrators are coming through, and that means the narrative is changing. It is slow, but at least something is better than nothing. And most of us are starting to pick up the pace thanks to the Teaching Artists Institute, where at least I also have faith that I'm going to be teaching from my own book when I'm teaching children. And yeah, having said that, I'll try to share a few uh, exercises just to feed your body and revitalize your body. And we say movement benefits or feeds.
Can you show us? Can you show us those movements?
Yes, I'm about to show you right now.
All right. I'm excited.
Me too.
Go ahead.
So we believe that movement benefits the body, and stillness benefits your soul. So I think you guys have had lots of stillness, you've been benefiting your mind and souls, and so let's benefit the body a little bit. So wherever you are, if you're seated, try to have yourself a straight spine. I'm sitting down. This is my yoga space at my home, and so just have yourself a straight spine if you can. So if you are sitting in a chair, try not to lean against it. So just sit straight. It can be hard if you're not really used. And yeah, just going to have to treat our spine a little bit for the first time. We're joining in. So I'll try to get into this position. So you can see my spine is really straight. So try to touch your knees. You inhale, open up your chest, and exhale, you round your spine. Inhale, open up your chest, and exhale, round your spine. Inhale, open up your chest, and exhale, round your spine. Inhale, open up your chest, and exhale, round your spine. Nice. That kickstarts us to a great start. And next, we're gonna try to give a few movements to the little joints. Try to be so visible. So we start with our fingers, spread them out wide, and cleanse, make a fist, and open up, make a fist, and open up, and make a fist. Remember, you breathe all the way through. You breathe in and breathe out. You breathe in, breathe out. For 3 more times, you breathe in,
So
breathe
what does
out.
this do for us? What does this do for us?
So these help us in blood circulation. So there is you remember when we was in the COVID times, medical personnel used to say that immobility is even more deadlier than the COVID itself, because what when from our little education of science and anatomy and biology, we studied that we have joints, and there are movable joints and immovable joints. So what happens is, if you don't have these micro movements for a very long time, you suffer from a problem of immobility. And so this causes blockages into your major parts of the body. So blood circulation and energy movement becomes stunted. So that means that's why if people do not have movement or workouts the right way or the mindful way, they happen to have slow response to medication even. So what we do is we encourage vitality through these micro movements. So they're really intended on unblocking your channels of energy inside the body. Yeah. And so we're going to try to move the neck. So you just try to lift your head and bring chin to your chest, and lift your head and chin to your chest. For 3 more times, you inhale and exhale. Inhaling and exhale. Neutral position, and try to look all the way to your right, and breathe out to the left. Breathing into the right, breathe out to the left. Inhaling to the right and exhale to the left. Inhale to the right, exhale to the left. Nice. So because our neck moves 360 in a circular movement, we want to bring back the movement. So get your chin to your chest and have your neck move all the way, circle. For 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so just trying to make sure that the same count you have on the right should be the same count you have on the left, here to balance out the energy. And so opening to the other side. All right, that's very good for your neck. And so we had hands, rather fingers. So just have to move your shoulders a little bit. So this workout doesn't even require you to get out of where you are. So that means even at work, even when you're just maybe on the bus, or maybe on a train, or maybe on even in your car, you can just take a break of 5 minutes, just in a day, or even 2, to just move your body, rotate anti-clockwise. You'll notice that even your heart rate is about to change. Blood is moving different now. So you not only feel good, but you also look good, because you are revitalizing many parts in your body. And yeah, so you want to try getting your left hand to the back, maybe it's touching the seat, or maybe if you're sitting down, you are touching the ground. So your right hand can come onto that's your left knee, and just twist and look back. How it pop-ups in the back and center, and we do it to the other side. Right hand to the back, and left hand comes to the knee, right side, just twist and look to the back. And front. center. So if it felt so good and you feel like you wanna do it again, there's no overdose in this kind of a workout. You can have as much as you want. So sometimes people be like, wow, that felt so good, and feel like I want to have some more. And yeah, you go on, you have some more. And you do it on the other side. Just make sure you don't do it on one side, kind of feels not balanced. Yeah, if you are sitting on a chair, most people are familiar with sitting when crossing. I'll just grab a seat real quick. And um, so we will try to have our backs really straight and just have right foot go on lifted and the right ankle on top of the left knee. And so you have your hips really squared out. So this is a really big hip opening, and you can feel like you're stretching the hip. So some people really like having even conversations, having this position. It's a great hip opener. So we're looking at the African setting of life that even our normal life that we live here on the continent is already mindful that we're already making our bodies healthy. So all the sitting positions literally in Africa are intended to make people healthy. We don't have a life of leaning or like slamming into our backs because we believe a person is as young as a person is as healthy.
We're wanting to maybe see how we can connect with you a bit later so that we can, in our own privacy, be able to really enjoy and appreciate what you're offering us here. So we're at the Kwanzaa celebration, and we want to give you a chance to complete this, but at another time. So where can we contact you? You're in Uganda, correct?
Yes.
All right. So maybe if you could put it in the chat or something, your contact information, and we'll get with you a little bit later. Thank you so much. Give them a hand.
Thank you. Thank you,
I
Mama.
really
And I know
appreciate, and I'll be dropping in my information in the WhatsApp chat. And I have Facebook, Instagram, and soon I'll be starting on virtual classes. So yeah, anytime you'll be welcome to contact me. Yeah, I'll
Thank
drop my
you.
information in the WhatsApp chat.
How do you say thank you in your language?
I speak 3 in my country. So there is a Wevale. Wevale is thank you. That's the central language where I'm staying now. And in my traditional language is Urakoze.
Akoze.
Urakoze.
Uakoze. 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 Right?
Ego.
Yay! Thank you. Thank you. Uakoze.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, Mama, are you okay? You're gonna introduce your son. He's on, I believe, Nee from Ghana.
Nee Sowala, his dad.
Nee. Okay. Yes.
Sowala will introduce Nee Apostle.
Oh, thank you.
Papa, funny.
The guy who is now coming.
Papa, funny.
Who is will be taking the stage now is our son. And it's maybe Niapa Anite Soala. and we attended African University College of Communication. And so he has got that kind of communication, whatnot. Mercy of something, personal work or something, that kind of thing. That one too is there. And he has been, as a teacher, he has been certificated. He has got certificate for that from the motherland, Ghana. And so, that's it. And he's going to talk about Kwanzaa, the third principle of today, what we are doing today. So when you hear him or you see him, that he's taking care of our school in Ghana called Oduache Memorial Preparatory School and Marcus Garvey Research Center. So now he's taking care of all these things and the
He's the
children.
principal
He's the principal
and administrator.
and the administrator of the school. Thank you.
Okay. Is that it? We're done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Sorry. Okay. All right. Who do we have next? Is
So
John?
maybe we'll let some drumming happen. Maybe
Okay.
Papa drum some before Nearby comes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Beautiful. Let's bring out the drum.
Nearby, you're on.
Ago,
Amen.
my name is Ni Apa Sowala, and with me, my wife to be Edinam Apabe from Accra, Ghana, and we are continue, please, to present a short note on Kwanzaa as one of the 7 principles, and it means collective work and responsibility, and its reflections on the 2024 homecoming to our motherland. So we want to see the link between the two. So as the other speakers has have already said, it was brought together by Dr. Mulana, so that the umbilical cord that binds us as Africans who find themselves in the diaspora as a result of the transatlantic slave trade we will to know where they come from, because those there has come into contact with a lot of cultures. So there was the need for us to always remember our roots, where we came from. So when we want to situate this celebration Kwanzaa to our homecoming, we need to come back to our roots, because it's about collective work and responsibility, making the problems in your community your own and finding a solution to it. So I urge all those in the diaspora to come home and build Mother Africa. Home is home. When your home is broken down or dilapidated, you need to fix it. There can be no today without tomorrow. Our future is accumulation of what has happened in the past. So, in this vein, coming home will give us the link, will give us the originality, where we came from. Give us our name, because our name, your name is your identity. Your name depicts where you come from. My name is Ni Bini Apa Sowala. Ni means king, B means prince. So I'm the son of a prince. The Sowala is my surname. I'm from Ghana, from the Gandangwe tribe, from the Abese clan, as well as the Odoyachem family. So I have a lineage, so I know where I come from. So that gives me the identity I'm talking of. So coming home will help you trace your identity, your real name, because what whatever you give your name to invokes some sort of power into it. You may be called Ni, but when you are called Ni and someone is calling you Na, that would be not the right thing to do. So we need to come home, then connect to our roots, build Africa, because we are faced with a lot of problems as at now. We are thinking of restitution and reparation of our stolen artifacts, reparation for the West to pay us what they did to our grandmothers and grandfathers some time ago, and also the festivals. So when we come to Ghana, Accra, we have a lot of festivals. When we come to Accra, we have the Gandangbe, where we have the La, Osu, Teshi, Nwa, where they have various kind of festivals. But I'm from La, so we have what we call the Omowo. So Omowo is celebrated every August to commemorate a famine which bestowed upon our people some time ago. It starts on Monday, what we call blow aheju. Blow means broom, where they cleanse everything. Then on the Tuesday, the process starts with what we call the Gbeminla. That is the ban on drumming and dancing, where about 3 weeks there will be no drumming, no dancing, no playing of music, so that there will be serenity. And from that onwards, we have the Gmandumo. The Gma is what we use to celebrate our Mo festival. The corn. From the corn, we prepare what we call the popoi. And we have the palm nut soup. On the Wednesday, we call it the Pasho, where we all converge at the chief priest, where we hug and say, Afi o Afi, Afi ya newani now. Let the year begin and end with us. Around this time, we all should be alive, so that we see ourselves. From there, we tend to talk about developmental issues, things affecting our community, our country, and our continent at large. That's the team, that is the Ujimaa, collective work and responsibility, making your community's problem your problem. So in this vein, we gather, then we see how best we can do or solve a particular problem. So coming to Africa, Ghana, your roots will be the best decision that you ever taken in your life, so that you'll be traced back to your roots, so that you'll be reconnected to your domain. You'll be connected to where you come from, because you are the son of the soil. You are the son or daughter of the soil. So that our problems will be small. We come together and solve. Like they say, charity begins at home. So when we solve the issue at home, then we go to the African continent at large, because you have a lot of issues of farming, of dictatorship, a lot. We are blessed, but yet always suffering. We are blessed with a lot of natural resources. But up to now, we have not gotten there yet. And I know, and I pray that all those in the diaspora, if they decide to come to Africa, put our resources together, I'm very sure Africa will be one of the best. So coming here will be very good, so that we're able to bond together, we're able to trace our roots, where we come from, so that from there, because for you to know the future, you have to correct the past. You know the past, your past will help you to know the future. So coming to Africa or coming to Ghana will be very good, so that at the end of the day, our problems will be solved. We, as a unit, we will be able to solve it. So when we use the Ujimaa, that's the collective work and responsibility. When we come together, then we use the Kumba, that is the creativity. When we are together, then we become more creative, so that we're able to solve our problems. If a black is in the US or Canada, and there's an issue, or the person is being killed, it also affects the black in another state. So it is our responsibility to see how best we will go to solve it. We are in Africa, but we have been hearing news of racial discrimination a whole lot, and I think it is time we come together on this issue of reparation and restitution, so that we will to retrieve all our stolen artifacts, because the artifacts also depict where we come from and what it signifies. So we need to come together to do all that. But if you are divided, you cannot do it. If you are together, the rope will be the umbilical cord, that's the Kwanzaa, to help us move forward. So that at the end of the day, our wish for Africa to be to be the best continent in the world will be realized. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Neil.
All right, beautiful, beautiful. All right, all right. And so let's see who we have next. I believe we have Kim is up, but we is Brother John Nix, John Ronnie Nix. Is he present, Elder? Okay, let me go to solo. Okay, okay, we can hear you. I'm sure this is the best one. Let me see.
Yes, I'm here, and it's great pleasure that I get a chance to speak with you on this great honor of Kwanzaa. I'm a fourth generation farmer. I'm a agricultural and mechanical engineer, graduate of Kansas State. I've worked in the agricultural field for several years. Uh, I'm a consultant for FAMU in their biological engineering program. Currently work with our school district where I have the opportunity and pleasure of working with our kids and teaching them about gardening. And we have many farm to school programs within our Alachua County schools. And on Kwanzaa, one of the things that we know for sure that food is a vital part of our freedom, a vital part of our history. And without food, it's become a way of actually keeping us imprisoned, keeping us unhealthy. And even in today, we have such food deserts within our communities. And one of the things that we're working in an organization that I chair is the Black Farmers Association. And one of the things that we want to make sure is that our local foods get highlighted in our area. When we talk about Ujimaa, when we talk about collective work and responsibility of today, that is one thing that we're working on as a group to collectively come together to both educate and produce the things that we need in our community to help reduce our food desert. Many of the farmers that are part of the Black Farmers Association have been farmers in their families for a long time. My family started their farm in 1901. And one of the things that was very evident in listening to the history from my grandfather and was that farmers were considered wealthy people, not wealthy because of money, but wealthy because of their independence and their ability to maintain their own lifestyle. Also, they were able to provide jobs for the community. And I hear stories of how people would come back and talk about our family farm and how they didn't have to bring lunches or anything because our family would always provide the food for everybody that worked. And also farmers worked together. They took the labor and they might work on my farm today and your farm tomorrow, and all of that about unity. And I hear when I was growing up, we didn't have so much of these tablets that you sit your kids down. Today, we sat around the fireplace and we told told stories, and my granddad told me stories of how he lived and what was happening in our community from Rochelle, which is a little small community just east of Gainesville, how that community came together and just did things like surf grinding and picking peas and beans. And my family is also an educator. My mom was a teacher. I have aunts that taught in Alachua County. When I went to school, I had 4 relatives teaching. But my mom always taught us humility and how to understand where we came from. So on Wednesdays, it was a tradition for us to go out and visit at the farm with my grandparents. And my mother's brothers were farmers and they kept the farm going. So she went from teaching 2nd grade at Duval Elementary School to picking beans at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, where we all got together to support my uncles who, as you know, one of the things that was very important in farming was labor, and trying to find people to do those kinds of jobs during the 60s and 70s wasn't very easy. So we grew up with the farm. I still run our farm. I actually changed it from a vegetable farm to a cattle farm. I didn't really like that picking stuff, but it's very challenging today to keep the farm going. But it is very important, I think. I do a lot of tours with kids to take them back to the land, let them know how important it is to be independent and having your own food source. During the 1920s, as many of you have heard, that we had the peak of black farms. We had over 900,000 black farms. We had 15% of the farms in America was black. Now in the 1900s, we're down to 18,000, from 900,000 to 18,000. We went from 15% down to 0.5% of the farms being black. And we went through a period of 100 years through institutional and social discrimination where we lost a lot of our farms. People moved, of course, up to Chicago and New York, and they left the farmland. So, they left security, and we're back to the point where we're kind of paying a cost now. Covert taught us that local food is very important. When we have to ship in our food and bring our food, we lose a lot of our controls. So with the organization, the Black Farmers Association, we're trying to educate our youth, we're educating our community and working together to bring back some of that independence of local food. I'm very, very proud to be a farmer and also to educate and try to get that next generation on the farm. There's something that working farms have now. It's called agribusiness, and that allows us to bring people onto the farm and show people how the farm works. There's a group that we put together where we can bring kids out, show them the farm, show them how different animals grow. I have the luxury of, as I said, 4th generation. So I have some cattle that my granddad actually started, the same breed, and and horses. I do horses because I think kids really love horses and they're attached to them. So right across from our family church, which is Hall Chapel United Methodist Church, which is a church that my granddad started over 135 years ago. Wow. We have my horse pastor, and the kids love to come to church, so that after church they slip away and grab me by the hand and say, "Let's go see the horses." So it's a way of using what we have today to bring the people back to the land. It's very important if we can and should remember where we came from. They bought us from Africa because we knew how to grow food. We knew how to work in the sun. We knew how to make things come from the soil. And as we look at Kwanzaa and we see the green from nature, and we know that that's what we're about. We're about living things and making things live. We're about that unity, and we got to bring it back because that's what it's all about. If we can't work together with our own people, then we'll never be really strong as we can be because it's all about unity. And I'm very proud to be a part of this Black Farmers uh, association, and we call ourselves association, not necessarily a co-op, because what we do is we disseminate information to each other and around, such that our goal is to make farms not only we not only want them to survive, but we want them to strive. So in order to do that, we're learning about the different programs that's available, helping each other and writing down what each of us have, and then sharing those things. And I think that that's what it's all about in order to bring this food security that we need back into our communities. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
All right, all right. Let's see. Who do we have next? Is spoken word African, all African media. Coakley, is he here? Is he online? Let me see. I thought I saw him online. If he's still there, brother. Cookie. Should be Cookie. Are you here? Let me see. I don't see him. Okay, he's not there in person. So, all right. Well, I don't see Mr. Coakley, but he was supposed to do some spoken word, but that's not going to happen now. So let's bring up Sister Kim Poole, uh, Executive Director of Teaching Artist Institute, bringing in Homecoming Ghana. Homecoming Ghana. Let me bring that up. Oh, which one you want, Kim? Unmute yourself. You're muted, Kim. Titles.
Yes. You can take that down for a second.
No, I'm going to you. Right, there we go.
When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. Oh, I wish I was home. I wish I was back there with things I've been knowing, things that make the tall trees begin to leaning. Suddenly the snowflakes that fall have a meaning, sprinkling, sparkling. Oh, I wish it all here. I had to bring some rhythm into this. I had to, because Mama Ayoka is that vibration that reminds us, that calls us into alignment. Her vibration, it reminds us of the standard. I'm so appreciative of you, Mama Ayoka. This tour is inspiration for us, and it is an ode to your life's work. Homecoming Ghana wasn't a product that existed prior to our introduction to you. You and I first met in 2019 in Ghana for the year of return. We were there celebrating the coming together of global African people, and with Mama Samia Nkrumah, the daughter of Kwame Nkrumah, the first president, to help emancipate African countries from colonial rule. She was there, and we were with her, and so many others like Mwali Mu Msada out of a region of Florida. I think that's Flagstaff or Flag Tree. he was there with us, the daughter of Malcolm X, and leaders from across Pan Africa. They joined us in 2019, and you said, Kim, I'm going to follow the journey. When you said you want to do this work to use art for social transformation, what exactly does that mean? I said, Mama Ayoka, we're still figuring that out. It looks different in every region where we work, but I want to figure that out with you. And you said, okay, I will join your WhatsApp group and I will watch you work. I want to stop because I think I see a flyer on the screen and I want to remove that from the screen. Is that possible? There we go. Because I'm having this conversation with Mama Ayoka before I address you all. You see, she began by saying that this Kwanzaa program was being dedicated to incredible women, that we stand on their shoulders. She acknowledged Asada Asa Hilliard's daughter. She acknowledged her. She said that she was an ancestor and that we acknowledge her and bring her vibration into the room. Then she acknowledged our Queen Mother, who was installed in Ho, in the first sister city established with Gainesville, Florida. She acknowledged her presence and others. But Mama Ayoka, I want to acknowledge you because the reason we're here together celebrating Ujimaa, the reason that we are still living out this collective work and responsibility is because our elders are still around to hold us accountable. And I want you to know, hear it from me, if you've not heard it up until this point, that I'm in Baltimore. We have people tuning in from Cleveland, Ohio, young people in Entebbe, Uganda, Lagos, Nigeria. We have elders from Newark, New Jersey. I mean, they're listening, they're on this YouTube. Baltimore, Maryland, I'm here. I just want you to know that they all hear me, right? Hear me now. Mama Ayoka in Gainesville, Florida. She's been doing this work. Her life has embodied this collective work and responsibility. And on behalf of the Teaching Artists Institute, TAI Tours, and all of our affiliates, we dedicate this day of Ujimaa to you and give you these flowers while you can still celebrate it with us. Thank you. Madasi. Thank you so much. Asante Sana. All of those African languages that they've given us, they stole our languages. But when I try my best to say words like thank you, and instead of saying thank you in English, I say Asante Sana or Akwaba, like welcome, or I say Madasi. I'm trying to hear the words of my ancestors. And so bear with me. If you're on the other side, if you're on the continent and you hear me chopping up your language, we're still learning here in the diaspora. And Kwanzaa is one of the ways that we practice. Mama Ayoka, her life has reminded us that Kwanzaa is only reminiscent of those real first fruit festivals that are still taking place on the continent around the harvest. It is borrowing those practices to give us practice, but practice is over. At this time in our history, it is time for us to do the real ceremony. It is time for us to learn about the first fruits festivals that are on the continent. And now that we have this opportunity to celebrate Mama Ayoka, we talk about the Homowo Festival. Neapai, he mentioned that it's still happening right now. It's looking at the life cycle of maize. The entire community structure of the Ga people is based on the coming and going, the ebb and flow of the harvest of maize. And that Homowo festival was a spiritual one. And Mama Ayoka has been holding that tradition in Gainesville, Florida for 20 years now. 20 years. And she said, Kim, it's time for us to operationalize Pan-Africanism. It's time for us to take our community from Gainesville, Florida, who's been celebrating the Homowo Festival with us, over to Ghana, to the Ga people, with my son, to the school, to the real festival. I want them to understand and experience the spiritual nature of this festival holistically. And I said, Mama Ayoka, we got you. So we're going to put together a package. We've started to do that. That is holistic. That includes the Homowo Festival, but I want to tell you a little bit about TAI Tours so that you understand what you'll be signing up for. We're here with you, not just once you get on the ground with our curators, but we're here prior to your leaving. When we say that our organization is committed to operationalizing Pan-Africanism, that means that we're willing to be there with you, walk beside you as you get your passport. Because many of us in our communities, we don't have basic things like our passport, our opportunity to go across international borders. We're there with you through the visa process. Ghana has a difficult visa process for those of us living outside of Ghana. You're going to the embassy in DC. We're there with you for that. We're there with the payment plan and the fundraising strategy because it takes money to go back home, and we understand that. And so we want to tell you why our organization is committed to that, because we understand that story is the most important art form. So I'm going to share my screen. I see Art, Tribe, Trade. Baba Haki, if you could bring that up. We're going to show them a little about TAI Tours and some of the curators we have around the world, especially those in Ghana. Because this Kwanzaa year, we don't want you to wear your dashiki, the beautiful angelique print. We don't want you to just light your candles and remember that as a theory throughout this year. We want you to take it to the next level. We want you to see where these traditions originated. It is that time in our history. It's time for us to collectively go back home. And this opportunity with Mama Ayoka to share in it with her family is nothing but a blessing to our organization, TAI Tours. TAI Tours is a subsidiary of the Teaching Artists Institute, and our goal as an organization is art for social transformation. But for us, art is everything and everybody all the time. We didn't create this. We understand that because it is the African worldview. In the African worldview, the drummer, they're not just the beat on the track that sounds nice. They're a communication system. When we're at war, they play a certain cadence that prepares us for battle. When a new child is born, when an ancestor transitions into the ancestral realm, they play a cadence. A drummer was a part of the communication system for the village. This is something we find across the continent, across ethnic nation. When we think about the griot holds the history of the village. They are not just a nice story. This isn't Hollywood or Nollywood for the sake of entertainment only, but the griot was a walking library for our community. We use this knowledge, this indigenous knowledge that we found from the African village, and we use it to inform our organization best practices. And so what it has taught us is that art is everything and everybody all the time. It's not for specialists in museums that we go and listen to like expertise. When you hear the music in South Africa, everybody joins in. We're all a part of the choir. And so what we're saying is that going into Africa, being a part of the village is an experience that you have to live for yourself. Bringing that about is what is going to help facilitate our global African collective work and responsibility. It's time for us to go and see for ourselves. And as an organization, we use the best of African best practices in the village on behalf of the artist class to facilitate that dialogue. So we're going to go over a few things about our organization. I see someone saying, as Queen Mother, I acknowledge the great Na Ayoka Sowala. She is a remarkable person. Yes, she is. Queen Mother Ashe, Asheo, thank you so much for celebrating her with us. So we're talking here about our organization. I've given you a little bit of background on our best practices and why we use art as a tool to facilitate global African dialogue, unity, and solidarity. Why we use art as a tool for collective work and responsibility. We're going to talk about our company overview, our service offerings in general, our TAI studies and cultural exchange, and then we're going to talk about the product that was uniquely developed for Mama Ayoka's community. you guys down there in Gainesville and beyond. If you're in a region outside of Gainesville and you're listening to this conversation tonight, come on, you can come too. Come and build this global unity and solidarity with us. Next slide, please. So what is a TAI tour? Remember that TAI, T-A-I, is the Teaching Artists Institute. And so a TAI tour, simply it's a journey. It's true immersion into a place. This is not Vegas. This is not the Bahamas. We do have opportunities to celebrate what we call vacation for vacation's sake. But when we say homecoming Ghana, when we call one of our TAI tours a journey, true immersion into a place, homecoming Ghana, we're saying that you're coming home. That means when you come to your mother's house, you may have to pick up a broom. You may have to fold some towels. You may have to wash a few. So you're going to enjoy that immersion into the place. But make no mistake about it. It is an immersion into the culture. So we want you to have real connections with real people. This is not the opportunity for you to go to a beach and disappear. If you're looking for that kind of tour, hey, we got you. But Homecoming Ghana is not that kind of tour. We're looking for people that want to go back home and help reconnect, help facilitate this collective work and responsibility for global African people. So the Teaching Artists Institute offers a unique artist-led travel experience that allows those who embark authentic exchanges with people of the world. Next slide. So we do customized itineraries like what we've developed for Mama Ayoka. We have knowledgeable artist guides and flexible schedules. A lot of our experiences include art as a premise. But for us, because art is everything, we show you the art in food. We want to show you the culinary traditions. We want you to taste red, right? We want you to taste that. We show you how food is an art form that really needs to be healed collectively. When I think about our responsibility to heal, I just want to thank the farmer in the room, because he talked about the farming tradition in his family. And the truth is, for us in the diaspora, the farm is the scene of the crime. So our people don't want to be farmers because we remember the trauma, even when we don't acknowledge it. And so what we do in Homecoming Ghana is we're going to use that food and that land as a part of our healing. So on the Homecoming Ghana tour, you're going to experience the foodways. You're going to experience the agriculture. The Homowo Festival is a perfect example of how holistic agriculture is for our people. It's spiritual. It's the food we eat. When we say for the nourishment of our bodies, that is practice in real time. We're going to look at wellness and leisure. Mugisha Ali Allen, you just met him from Uganda. He's one of our lead TAI tour curators, and he will be there with you every morning doing yoga, what we call movement medicine. So every morning, we're going to remind you of that healing, the healing that it takes for our collective work and responsibility. Of course, we're going to look at our history and traditional art. And if you're one of the young people in the family, don't worry, nightlife will be there with you. Once we put our elders to bed, we'll make sure that we keep you entertained. Don't you worry. TAI tours, we go off the beaten path. So many people, when they take you to Ghana, there's so many people doing tours in Ghana now. I love it, especially after the year of return. But for us, when we take you to Ghana, we take you off the beaten path. We take you into the Upper West, to the city of Wachau, Hippo City. And we take you on the river and you see for yourself the hippos. They say that when the colonizer came to Wachau, that the local people, they went into the river on the backs of the hippos. And when the colonizer tried to follow them, the hippos would move and they would fall in the water and drown. These folklore, these stories, the local people in Wachau, they tell us about these stories in the Upper West region. Many people do tours to Ghana and they go on what we call the triangle. They start in Accra, the mighty Ga people, they operate and own that region. Then they go over to the slave dungeons, like what is pictured here, and they see Elmina and they see Cape Coast, and they lament our ancestors at the door of return. And if they're lucky, they go to Kumasi. And in Kumasi, they may go to Banri and they learn about the kente cloth, the woven fabric. But for us, the journey doesn't stop there. Because we have artists curating these experiences, they want to take you into their home. And so our artists, they take you into the Upper West, into Wachau. They take you into the Upper East, into Balatanga. We have Baba Bernard Morna, who is at Senkana. He tells us about the history of his family and how they actually fought against the colonizers and won. We need those historic stories that empower us, especially in places like Ghana with the slave dungeons, where they somehow celebrate the fact that they still stay in these institutions. But the truth is that we won. Some of these battles, we showed up on that battlefield and we walked away as victors. And we include those kind of stories into our homecoming tour this year, or should I say next year, at Homecoming Ghana. Next slide, please. So you'll see we also do networking and investments. So Homecoming Ghana is also an opportunity for those that are looking for repatriation. Maybe you have lived out the best of your years here on this soil that is not yours. And so the question becomes, what do you need in order to actually repatriate, to go back home to Ghana? First and foremost, Africa is still a relationship economy. You have to know somebody. Guess what? We have families. Families. Our curators are families. You still need a family to adopt you. Yes, you have over 7,000 people of African American descent, those that went through the Ma'afa, that are living in the United States or from the Caribbean, that have decided to repatriate back to Ghana. But what we have learned as an organization is that the relationship economy reminds us that culture is the new currency. And the African culture means one of family and unity. That collective work and responsibility requires that you have a team. And that team in Africa is your family. And so in the Homecoming Ghana tour, we're doing naming ceremonies with our curators so that you can find a family that will adopt you if you're interested in repatriation. We're going to tell you all about it. So the secret to our work in TAI Tours, again, is our curators. And a global network of Pan-African teaching artists have been trained to curate experiences inspired by their unique art forms and local environments. We bring that up because any company can take you back to any country in Africa. But the reason our tours are special as we attempt to operationalize Pan-Africanism is because they're artists. When you get to that place at the slave dungeon, we're going to do a healing workshop for you. So it's not just point and look and see. When you get to Kumasi, we're going to do workshops with you, experiences curated by our artists, so that you can never have the type of experience that you would have without that artist, because they're showing you this environment through their eyes. Our curators are our secret ingredient. And so access, exclusivity, and quality assurance. You can see on this slide some of our curators pictured. Down at the bottom, you see some of our Ghanaian curators. Notice Bice. You also may know him as Obo. He started off in our organization. He was the president of the Musicians Union in Ghana. Now he's been elevated to the position of postmaster. When we work in Ghana, it's different from any company that comes because we're working with Ghanaians that are building they're architects of the symbolic landscape in Ghana. They help to make Ghana happen. They bring us into events like Niapa, to the real ceremony for the Homowo, this spiritual experience that is closed off to the public. It is specifically for those that are invited. And so it's not just a place you can pay your money and get into. Sometimes even local people don't know or are not invited to be on the guest list. And so we're working with curators that have access and exclusivity. Next up, you can see next to him, we have Dominic Marfo. He's a proud Ghanaian man, and he is living in the Ndinkra village. He boils the tree bark and he makes the dye. The Ndinkra symbol, his family has lived for a generation to promote and preserve that legacy. he's one of our curators, and Rise Bandingo, etc. And so our curators are our secret ingredient. Next slide, please. So we have many types of travelers by age, by interest, by budget. We say you can do this experience with us anytime, but we recommend that you do a group travel so that you can benefit from a defrayed cost. Next slide. Next slide. So group travel, you can see on the right from 2019 is a tour that we offered. And I want to read this testimonial. Life is better with company. And Camp Cleveland, he said on his Facebook page, my experience traveling with TAI Tours was amazing. I have been around the world, but my trip to Ghana was one of the best. The team really took care of me and my family while we were in Ghana for the year of return in 2019. I will definitely make plans to join her and her crew in Uganda and Tanzania 2020, professional and down to earth. And I appreciate that testimonial so much because it speaks to the character of our curators. They're so approachable and they're not looking to turn you into a tourist commodity because they've been trained. They understand our story. They aren't trying to use us as a dollar sign. Some of us, when we come to Ghana, especially because Ghana has been so successful at packaging history-based tourism, many of the curators that are working in Ghana around the tourism industry, they see our search for identity and connection and repatriation as big business, and they exploit that. But I'm so proud to say that the curators we work with, they see you as family because they see us as family. The tours that we develop in Africa are not tours for tour's sake. We're not only in the country when we do a tour for you. This is our daily bread. 365 days a year, we are Kwanzaa. We are Ujimaa, cooperative economics, Ujimaa. Kujichagulia, self-determination, Umoja. We operationalize Pan-Africanism. And so our projects in Art for Social Transformation happen all year long. And so the curators that are putting together the experience for you, they are vested in our organization. And so they don't see you as a one-time dollar sign that they can exploit as you search your identity and search for repatriation because they value our relationship, and it helps us to create experiences like this one pictured here. Again, group travel, shared cross, traveling alone and want to save, allow TAI Tours to tie up and tie tight. So you've been trying to get your family for years to come and they don't want to come. Leave them cousins at home. We can partner you with a roommate. We can put you with a group. So if you decide that it's just you that's coming with us next year, next August to Homecoming Ghana, well, guess what? We can find that family for you, that travel tribe. Next slide, you can skip. You can skip. You can skip. We won't be doing it ourselves travel this year. TAI Studies and Cultural Exchange. So the reason we put this slide in, and that's actually us pictured in Ujimaa on the river in Hippo City. And so the reason that we've included this slide around TAI Studies and Cultural Exchange, because if you are a student, if you are a professor looking for sabbatical, if you are looking for field research, perhaps you every year, based on your industry, you have to recertify. And maybe you're a counselor and you have to get what we call continuing education credits. We can help to legitimize your trip. Let us make sure that this trip is a part of your portfolio, your international portfolio development. So we're not only a TAI tours company for tourism only. Because of our TAI Studies and Cultural Exchange, we can give you certificate. We can make sure that you're getting credit for your participation in the trip. And when we explore fundraising with you, you can reach out to these institutions legitimately and have a conversation about how they can pay the cost for your inclusion into this opportunity. Next slide. If you are a young person, I saw some of the Watoto or dancing in the front during the drum roll. If you are a young person, it's never too early to begin to learn global learning, right? Going back home for us is not vacation. And our young people, they need this education as a part of their development. Some of us didn't learn that we were African until we were in our 40s and 50s. Imagine if we understood that as a child. Where would our community be? We can no longer, as a community, afford to keep starting from scratch. We need the young people that are behind us to continue this work, and it starts now. And so our organization, we are willing to work with the young people 10 months prior to their departure. If you have a young person that you know wants to participate in Homecoming Ghana and come with us next August, we will do monthly workshops with them to teach them about Pan-Africanism, to teach them who is Kwame Nkrumah. We send them little boxes in the mail so that they can taste Ghanaian chocolate, so that they can see and feel Kitenge or Kente cloth fabric. We want to introduce them so that they don't have culture shock. We want this cultural orientation. We teach them things about international cross-cultural communication, mutual beneficial, what that means when you're in somebody else's house. So let us engage those young people and prepare them for the journey. We are willing to do that, TAI Tours, under our TAI Studies Cultural Exchange Program. Next slide, please. So maybe you're in the audience today and you say, you know, Mama Ayoka, I love you. Homecoming Ghana sounds great, but I know I'm not going to be able to do it. Let us figure out how to include you in the journey. You can buy some of our products and we can use that money to support other people that do want to go. We have what we call a taste of the region, quarterly subscription boxes that highlight 4 regions around Pan-Africa every year, and we'll ship them right to your door. So you can get a taste of the region, even if this year is not the year that we're going to prepare you to go. I just want you to know that you're still with us in spirit, and we can make sure that your resources go to Mama Ayoka's team, whoever she selects to go with her and represent the Gainesville family. Next slide. Tie up, tie tight. We've got t-shirts too, y'all. Art Tribe Trade. Next slide. So before you even say no to yourself about demonstrating, operationalizing Pan-Africanism and getting on that plane and joining us for the Homecoming Ghana tour, I want to just debunk some of those myths that are in your mind. The reason that you haven't gotten your passport, the reason that you've been celebrating Kwanzaa for years and you've never been to Africa, the reason that the Homowo Festival in Gainesville is the only one that you think is available for you to participate because you can't afford to go. You spend just as much money in Vegas and the Bahamas as you would in Italy. And that is the same for Ghana. You think that it's so much more expensive, but our packages are all inclusive. So they include your flight, not just your flight to the country, but your flights within the country. Ga in Accra is a flight away from the Upper West in Wichita, but we include that flight into your package. It's all inclusive. So you would spend just as much money if you come with TAI Tours. Next up, I got bills. Girl, I got all these bills. I never catch up if I go to Ghana for Homecoming Ghana. Guess what? Those bills will be right there when you get back. It's the truth. The nature of this capitalistic system is one that keeps you on a rat wheel where you're running like a hamster and you never catch up. And that is the point. Pay yourself first. This experience for you is necessity for your family's legacy. It is foundational that you go back. You are your ancestors' wildest dreams. I hope you've seen that t-shirt, but it's true. Travel to Africa is not a luxury for Black people. It's a birthright. It is your right to have this experience. And I want you to have it with Mama Ayoka, someone that has dedicated her life to teaching you in Gainesville and wherever you happen to be listening to us around the world about Ujimaa. collective work and responsibility. Last but not least, my favorite, stop buying Jordans and start buying experiences. You don't need that extra blender. You don't need that little thing that cuts the garlic. We got a tool for everything in the kitchen, don't we? We got one that pops the popcorn, one that bakes the bread. And then we look at our closets, lady. We got a scarf for every outfit. You don't need it. Stop buying material things and start determining what is of value for my family's legacy. Experiences, they will last forever. They never get old. Last slide, our contact information. I'm going to wrap up by showing you the flyer for this tour. And I'm going to ask that you decide to give your name and contact to Mama Ayoka after this Kwanzaa is over and help her to operationalize Pan-Africanism and join us at the Homecoming Ghana Tour for 2024. If you decide that you want to help her, you will become one of our TAI Tour ambassadors. If you are a TAI Tour ambassador, you get a cheaper price than everybody else because you said, I want to put in some sweat equity. I'm willing to help her promote in Gainesville so that we can build a sister city. I'm willing to help her by bringing my family. We're going to come as a family. That helps. And we'll give you a cheaper price. We'll consider you a TAI Tour ambassador. We also give you basic travel education. We talk with you about what it means to be healthy abroad. Because let's face it, we've been drinking so much bleach in our water, we can't even drink water when we go to Africa if you've been living here on this soil for so long. So we teach you how to be healthy abroad. We tell you how to prepare and pack for your journey. We help you with fundraising. If you don't have enough money and you need help figuring out how to raise the money to travel, you will be one of our TAI Tour ambassadors, and that's available for you. Next slide. Yes, we make real travel easy. Please pull up the flyer for the tour. That's going to be our last slide. I'm looking at the time. We said we won't hold you long, family. 6 to 8 is our time. And so I don't want to stay longer than our time frame. I know you guys are there in person. But again, Mama Ayoka has this information, an ambassador, 4,500. And remember, family, that's all inclusive. That means that includes your $1,200 to $1,500 flight. That includes 2 meals per day. That includes your flights within the country. That includes all of your accommodations. That includes all of your curators. It includes your experiences and your entry into those places. But honestly, being able to experience the Homowo Festival in real life. We talk about Kwanzaa and how it was inspired by those first fruits festivals on the continent. But we're telling you that the return trip to Ghana next year, this homecoming, it is the opportunity for you to experience a real first fruits festival, a festival Homowo that she's been doing over 20 years in Gainesville, Florida. Now you get to go to Ghana with her family and do that on Ghanaian soil. How spiritual that is. What a blessing that will be to your family's legacy to tell that story to your grandchildren or bring them with you so that they tell that story to them grandchildren and them grandchildren, on and on. We have tourists. You said, I don't want to go, but I got the money. I'm going to just pay my dues. We have payment plans for you. Anybody that signs up tonight, if you sign up tonight, you don't need all the money. But if you sign up tonight, we will give you a 10% discount. If you are a tourist out there and you sign up tonight, you can tell Mama Ayoka, count me in. I'm coming. That's what you got to do. If you do that, 10%, we'll give you a 10% discount because we want to encourage you to support her. And last but not least, Homecoming Ghana, that package, it includes the naming ceremony and all the tools that you need for that trade. It includes pre-trip workshops around ancestral repatriation to get you ready for the trip so that you're ready to receive once you arrive. And we're going next August 11th through the 24th. Now, I'll tell you, the Homowo Festival is the real deal. So we have chosen dates that put us hopefully at the beginning of the Homowo Festival, but it is based on the planting season. It's based on a planting season of maize. And so we don't know how the gods are going to help us with the plants. We don't know how the crops are going to grow. We can only ask God to help us and guide us. And hopefully we've chosen dates that will include the beginning of the festival. But these dates in August will include at some point the Homowo Festival. And so contact us. Thank you so much, Mama Ayoka, for inviting us here today and allowing us to help operationalize Pan-Africanism for your family and support the institutions in Ghana that you've been building for many years. Thank you again, Baba Haki.
Question about how many persons can your group accommodate?
So we want a group of 20. That is ideal for us. We can't accommodate any more than 30 at this point. Because of the sacred nature of the festival, they told us that some things are private. And so this is the actual spiritual practice of many of the leaders in the God community. And so out of respect for that, we want to make sure that our group doesn't exceed 30. But 20 is a good number for us. We won't exceed 30.
Well, we already have about 5. So the job is easy. To get 15 more at least.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We have 5 individuals already committed without seeing your presentation.
Wow, that's beautiful. I appreciate that. They're there tonight. They get that 10% discount. We'll talk with them. Please get their contact information.
Does a 17-year-old have to be accompanied by a legal adult? Parent?
Ask the question whether or not a 17-year-old has to be accommodated by an adult.
You do not, but there is paperwork that we would need your parent to sign, and we can talk with you about that under our TAI initiatives.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm rushing because I want to make sure that folks have a chance to get some snacks. You know how Jesus always says you can't let the people go hungry, right? Huh? Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, Sister Kim. Peace and love.
Yes, ma'am.
So before we do maybe we could go ahead and start. We want to do our circle of unity circle. So maybe we can go ahead and do that. And anybody who has a brief announcement that you need to make. Oh, okay.
And did we?
So let us start. Say it again.
Mama Bantu, is she there too?
No, she's Atlanta.
Okay. Okay, just making sure. Okay.
We have 2 people. Okay, so I'm saying as we kind of come and get our circle together, you all can go ahead and.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sister Ra. I'm Sister Ra, and I want to share some. Oh, okay.
No, we got.
Okay.
You got 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes. Quick. All right. Showing value of our children. God has the gifted program that gets our children out of special ed.
What is GOGIT?
GOGIT stands. It's an acronym. It stands for God Almighty's Grand Unified Theory. It's a formula. G sub ij comma j to 0. It was revealed to Professor Gabriel Aldo Yibo in 1990, and it's the formula that I don't know if you all know, but Albert Einstein is a physicist, and he died looking for the formula. So it was revealed to Professor Gabriel Aldo Yibo, and this document here. This is a legal document. It was unanimously voted on by the Senate of Nigeria. It's order paper number 151. It was voted on in March 2005, and it instituted what's called the African International Foundation for Science and Technology. And it reads, and I'm going to do just a few sentences, not long. Senator Nicholas Yahya Ubang, Senator Iya Abubakar, Senator Chris Adoji. Whereas evidence abound from monuments and inventions reveal Africans and their descendants as the pioneers and leaders of the world's first civilization. Today, it is also evident that they have continued to pioneer inventions in modern era. Whereas eminent African scientists like Benjamin Banneker, a mathematical genius, used the architecture of ancient Egypt as a model to design and build the city of Washington, D.C., the United States capital. Daniel H. Williams III performed the first open heart surgery in modern medicine. Garrison Morgan invented gas baths and traffic lights. Ralph Sampson also invented the first cellular phone, which has eventually become the foundation for modern telecommunications industry. Whereas an accomplished Nigerian ranked among the world's best scientists, a mathematician and physicist by the name Professor Gabriel Aldo Yibo, has discovered God Almighty's unified theorem. And this theorem can be used to proper solutions to incurable diseases like AIDS and cancer. And this also, the last one, I'm just going to go real quick to the last one. It says that this is, be it resolved that if we want other nations and indeed the world to recognize and appreciate the accomplishments of African geniuses, African nations, and nations means everyone that is involved in the nation, the people, so forth. African nations should, as a matter of urgency, create a mechanism for recognizing and honoring the geniuses and great exploits of our race. And that's what this document is. It's a legal document, and I can email it to anyone who would like to have a copy of it. And it's the children are very excited. I have a 6-year-old nephew. I shared with him about his now ability to win an academic prize where he got so excited, guys. And he promised me he's going to do good in school because he wants to win this prize. This is the greatest academic prize ever in history. It's a $2 million academic prize award that now our children can win because of this, because they share his genes. And this removes, he has a gifted program that will abolish the special ed, because no child that shares the genes of one that has IQ equal infinity could never be special ed. That just don't matter. But thank you guys for your time. And I'm taking collections. I had a gentleman I shared with, I want to share the story with you guys, at Walmart before I came here. I shared with him the prize award. I had a copy of it. I gave it to him. But he gave me $30 towards this prize award because he understood the value of our children. And we too, showing value of our children. This is what we do. This is what Martin Luther King and them did for us, while we're here. They did not hold back. So we can't hold back. Any contributions toward this prize award, I go to, and I do brownies myself. I bake brownies because Martin Luther King's organization is the one that sent Professor Oyibo the New York Progressive Baptist Convention. They partnered with OFAPA Institute of Technology, and they took up collections and they sent him to Nigeria in 2004. And he presented this theorem to the whole world, and no one could challenge it.
Question. I believe Dr. Oyibo is on the YouTube.
He does have a YouTube channel. The name of the university is in New York. It's called OFAPA Institute. OFAPA Institute. That's what you can put in. But it's called OFAPA Institute of Technology. But OFAPPIT Institute. That's what you see on YouTube. And please check out his video.
How do you spell his last name?
It's Oyibo.
Oyibo.
Oyibo. Oyibo.
Give her a hand. Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Does she have any literature to give us? Do you have any literature?
I can get emails and send it to you guys.
Okay, so we're going to eat in a few minutes. You'll have time to.
These are real quick. Since you got into yoga this evening, I want to brag on one of my great yoga teachers, a young woman named Jackie Baroni, gives her time to give free community yoga classes. It's on the Downtown Plaza, Tuesday and Thursdays at 7:30, and she's a fantastic teacher. Also, there's going to be another Kwanzaa celebration on Sunday at 4 o'clock at the Wilhelmina Johnson Center. That's on 10th Street and 5th Avenue neighborhood, and that's open to the public.
Dave Williams. You may have to just go on Facebook and find out when Dave Williams is also.
Okay, does anybody else know any other Kwanzaa celebrations? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Monday? Come forward if you got them. You have
That's not a Kwanzaa celebration, but at Mount Olive Church, it's done. Federal conflict at Mount Olive Church at 4 p.m. There is a program, Building the Gap. You know, the state of Florida has this thing now where you can't teach, or they want you to teach, you know, about Black history in school. So at Mount Olive, we're filling the gap between what they wanted to do and can't do, and etc. So at 4 p.m. it's going to take place, and it's going to be entitled "When All God's Children Get Together." It's an intergenerational kind of event from 4 to 5:30, and if you're available, if it doesn't conflict what you've already scheduled to do, just come on out at Mount Olive Family.
Thank you so much.
Oh, bless you. Bless you.
It's such an honor to be here, and to the pastor and first lady of this wonderful church, and to this Queen Mother who continues to lead and guide us. You are to me. Can I talk about what you are to me? Has offered such wisdom to me over the course of the time that I've known her here. And I thank her for just handing me the microphone to share with you that I am a candidate for sheriff for Alachua County. There are many who have asked about my law enforcement experience. And I say to them, I have the same amount of law enforcement experience as the President of the United States of America, who's the Commander-in-Chief of all branches of the military. This position is a public policy position, and that's what I have a background in. I'm a former chief of staff for a mayor of one of the largest counties in the United States, interviewed for a position with President Obama administration. So my public policy experience is vast, and I understand that we have so many people who are incarcerated because they have mental illness. We must learn and teach and share that tax dollars are being spent to incarcerate the mentally ill. Mental illness is not a crime. 65% of the people in Alachua County Jail have mental illness. 65% of the children of color that are in the juvenile justice system have some mental health challenges. And what I am asking you to do tonight is to sign the petition. We're very thankful to have a judge in the House with us, and we need more of her sitting on the bench. Because studies have shown that we are wired to gravitate and be partial to that looks like us. So when we have majority of people who don't look like us making decisions about us, then we have the challenges that we have now with a $174 billion prison system. And it's the new slavery. We can't go to Ghana and get out of that. We have to start working here. So I need you to help me. We can't take back our streets until we take back our homes. That's where the challenge is, and I need your help in doing that. Please vote for Pamela Marshall Coons. Pamela Marshall Coons for Alachua County Sheriff. I'm running as an independent. I will be on the ballot in November. Thank you so much. Mike, what do you want?
And the same thing, just real quick, we have opportunity to sign 2 petitions. Get Michon Rawls up for re-election next year. All around this table right here, so you don't have to wait. You can sign the petition, slip it in the box, and if you want to put some work in for it, and take a pack of 25, just let her know, and we'll give you a pack of 25 that you can just call me to come and pick them up when you can.
Thank you all for allowing me to serve. I'm going into my 6th year, and I want to continue to serve.
6 years. Woo. Thank you. Thank you. Come on, y'all. Let's circle. Start thinking about some significant person that really impact your life. It can be an ancestor who has really impacted your life. So can we make a circle? Everybody get out the middle. Come on, Kylie, help me. No, so you. Where's Soya? Ali. Okay, so what usually happens is you think of a significant person that has impacted your life and who is now an ancestor, and you can call that person's name. And just always remember that we are the DNA of our ancestors. We're our ancestors. Remember, the body goes back to death, but that spirit never dies. It just gets reborn into somebody else. So you all are the DNA of your ancestors. So can we, I guess at the count of three, Sister Pat, we can, each one can just, you have the name in mind already? Start with you. Well, we can all say it together. All right, 1, 2, 3. Can you think of another one? Grandma Rose. Anybody can think of another? Come on, 1, 2, 3. Yes, yes, yes. 1, 2, 3. Kwame. All right, Papa, come on, help us to do the. Let's pull together because I'm not sure. Is Mama Nabatu is on? Brother Jumoke? All right. So they may have closed down. Okay. All right. So what we usually do is we want to all this that we've heard tonight, everything, even from Gaga to the guy who's doing the yoga and to Nearpa who's encouraging us to come back to Ghana and Sister Kim Poole who's orchestrating that great trip. I know it's going to be awesome and fantastic. All that we've heard tonight will all of us commit to putting our shoulder to the ground and to make things happen. Nobody is going to do it for us, y'all. There's no white horse coming to save anybody. We have to do it for ourselves. So what we say is all that you've heard from Umoja, Ujimaa, and now Ujimaa, can you say that you will pull together? So we're going to do 7 around babies. And on the 7th one, you hold it. Papa likes to do the who? Kali. But Papa likes to tell us about the story of how they all were down at the ocean and they needed to get the boat moving. And they said, oh, we can't get that boat out there in that water. And they said, oh, yes, you can. Wow. Because if you work together, who was that? Who was it? Manye. Manye. We're getting ready to close out. Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you. It's been wonderful.
Thank you. All right. So,
okay, so Harambe is the word. It means pull together. And when you say Harambe, you pull 6 times through and then 7 hold. Harambe, 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 Harambe.
please feel free to refresh yourselves. There's water in the cooler and there's snacks available.
I'm going to give you an email address for class. So I can get that
Thank you all for staying.
Into